All right, let's play detective today. We're diving deep into the Pakistan Stock Exchange, but we're not just looking at stocks. We're on the hunt for dividends. It's a world full of tricky dates and hidden rules, and our mission, should you choose to accept it, is to crack the code together.
So let's get right to the heart of the history. This is the big question, isn't it? When a company announces a dividend, is it basically free money showing up in your account? Or is it some kind of financial trap waiting to catch the unwary?
Well, the answer, like any good detective story, is all in the timing. The entire game hinges on a handful of key dates, and if you get even one of them wrong, it could really cost you. You could miss out on the very payout you were counting on.
So where does any good investigation begin? You've got to find the evidence, right? So our first move is to track down the primary source, the official company announcements. That's where all the clues are hiding.
And finding it is actually pretty simple. You just head over to the PSX data portal, type in the company you're looking into, find the financial results announcement, and boom, you download the PDF. This document is now your official case file.
Now, once you open that file, you're going to see 4 key terms pop up over and over again. These are the 4 crucial dates that control everything. Understanding what each one means is absolutely essential to solving this puzzle.
Let's dive into our first case file, Honda Atlas Cars. Now, this one is our by-the-book example. It's the perfect way to learn the ropes and see how things are supposed to work in a perfect world.
Okay, so the company declares the dividend way back on May 25th. But look closely. All the really important action, the stuff that affects your wallet, it's all clustered together right there in the middle of June. Let's see how they all connect. And here it is, the smoking gun. This sentence, pulled directly from the official document, is the most important clue we have. It tells us the record date is June 17th. This is the magic day. To get the dividend, your name has to be on the company's official list of shareholders on this exact date. No exceptions.
So, working backwards from that, we find the next crucial date. If the record date is the 17th, the day right before it, June 16th, is the X dividend date. X just means without. So if you buy the stock on or after this date, you're buying it without the right to that dividend. That means your last chance to buy and still get paid is June 15th.
All right, you think you've got it figured out? Well, this is where the plot thickens. Our second case involves Toyota, and an unexpected villain enters the story. A public holiday that completely scrambled the timeline.
Just look at this. Based on the rules we just learned, you'd expect the key dates to be May 11th and 12th. But because of the Eid holiday, the actual dates were pushed a whole week earlier. Can you imagine? An investor who didn't see this coming would have bought the stock thinking they'd get the dividend, only to find out they were too late. So what's the rule here? It's a big one. When a record date lands inside a public holiday, it doesn't get pushed forward, it gets shifted backward to the last working day before the holiday starts. In this case, that little rule moved the entire timeline up by almost a week. You have to watch out for that. Okay, time for the masterclass. What do you do when the clues are missing? Or even crazier, what if the clues change right in the middle of your investigation? This is where the real detective work begins. So our next puzzle is from Mirpur Sugar. You open up their announcement, and you see they've listed the book closure period. But hold on, where's the record date? They didn't even mention it. Is the clue missing? Or do we just need to know the secret code? Here's how we crack it. Think about it. Book closure is when the company is finalizing its list. So it makes sense that the unwritten rule is that the record date, the day they take the snapshot, is always the working day right before book closure begins. So if book closure starts on the 15th, we can deduce the record date is the 14th. See? We just solved for a missing clue. And now for our final, most baffling case, the mystery of TRG Pakistan. The company declared a dividend back in April, and everyone expected the record date to be May 18th. But then, something bizarre happened. The actual ex-dividend date wasn't in May at all. It was June 10th. What on earth happened?
The answer was buried in a second announcement. A follow-up notice. It was a revision stating that the book closure dates had been changed. They would now be closed starting June 14th. And that one little update completely reset the entire dividend calendar. And this brings us to our most critical finding of the day. The dates are not always set in stone. You have to double-check for follow-up notices. Companies can, and they absolutely do, change the dates. It's your job as the detective to be on the lookout. So, after all of this detective work, after cracking codes and spotting clues, we have to face the ultimate question. We know how to hunt down a dividend, but should we? Let's go back to our first simple case, Honda, and deliver the final verdict. This was the prize. This is what all the fuss was about. A dividend of 4 rupees and 52 paisa per share. A lot of people saw this number and thought, hey, easy money, and rushed to buy the stock. But here's the twist ending nobody saw coming. The day the stock went ex-dividend, the share price didn't just drop by 4.5 rupees, it fell by almost 27 rupees.
And this is the truth of our entire investigation. The market is smart. That dividend money doesn't just appear out of thin air. It comes directly out of the company's value. And the moment that cash is gone, the stock price adjusts downwards to reflect that. It is not, and it never was, free money.
So let's review our official Dividend Detective's rulebook. 1. Master the 4 key dates. 2. Always account for public holidays. 3. Learn how to deduce the dates when the clues are missing. 4. Verify everything and always look for revisions. And the most important rule of all, remember, dividends are a tool for long-term investors, not a get-rich-quick scheme.
With these rules, you're now equipped to navigate this tricky landscape. You can solve any case that comes your way. So the only question left to answer is, how are you going to use this knowledge? Are you going to be a strategic, long-term investor, or are you going to gamble on short-term moves? The choice is yours.